Hello and welcome to this Fotospeed video with me, Tim Jones. Today we are looking at the Fotospeed High White Smooth 315 paper, and if it is a great alternative to one of our best-selling fine art matte papers, NST Bright White. But before we get into any of that and looking at High White Smooth and going through like the key features and things like that, please don't forget to subscribe to the Fotospeed YouTube channel and also sign up to the Fotospeed newsletter, and also download the free ebook we offer on everything you need to know about printing called The Art of Printing. And as always, I will put all the links in the description below for you so it's nice and easy for you to find. So, High White Smooth. It's a paper that, again, I keep saying this, but we don't really talk about enough. It gets overshadowed a little bit by papers like NST Bright White and Smooth Cotton, perhaps. So High White Smooth is a 315 GSM, grams per square meter paper. It is 100% cotton, has a lovely smooth surface to it, absolutely beautiful. Has a white base as well, so it gives a beautiful punch to the prints as well because of that white base. So it is pH neutral and also archival, and it is ArtSure approved from the Fine Art Trade Guild as well. And it prints absolutely beautifully, I have to say. It gives a beautiful Giclée fine art prints. Like I said, it is an archival paper. It comes in cut sheet and in rolls as well, and is compatible with dye and pigment printers. All the prints on the table here are printed with a pigment-based printer, but it prints absolutely beautifully with a dye-based printer like the Epson ET8550. Works absolutely beautifully, or the Canon Pro 200S as well. So High White Smooth has been with us here at Fotospeed for a very, very long time. It has been one of our staples, and it has been on the Fotospeed website and part of the Fotospeed product line for many, many years, almost right back to the beginning of when we started doing fine art matte papers as well. It's sometimes a little bit overshadowed, like I said in my intro, with the NST Bright White perhaps, or the Smooth Cotton. They seem to get a little bit more glamour because they're part of the signature range, but High White Smooth is really worth looking at and is an absolutely beautiful paper. Like I said, it has this smooth base to it and a high white point as well. I'm going to compare it to NST Bright White in a minute as well, but I did want to just look at some prints to start with, just to show you it can do absolutely everything. Let's start with color though, because I think with color images, this is where, if you want a high impact to your color images and you want something that's really going to pop off the page, sometimes matte papers aren't really thought of, or something it's like a go-to really. However, with a high white point of paper, like the High White Smooth, they really work absolutely fantastically, and they really do pop off the page. The food picture here, all those lovely bright colors, and the greens here, things really do pop. My classic pencil picture that I used in many of these videos works absolutely fantastically. Does a beautiful job, in fact, in creating these. The swimming pool picture here that is so bright and vivid, it has come out beautifully. It really does pop off the page. I think that's probably one that really does work well in the High White Smooth. And we've got this little travel picture here as well with, it's quite contrasty kind of bright colors as well, but they do work particularly well, I think, with a bright white base. And the High White Smooth has really made it really pop off the page, and does make it absolutely fantastic. So for color, I think I can highly recommend it. Like I said, I'm going to compare it to, I've got some NST Bright White prints over here as well. So a little bit later on, I am going to get those out and I'm going to compare it, because that's probably what I would say has been my go-to for color, that high white point, that pop off the page. And I want to see if High White Smooth lives up to its kind of reputation as well. Now, if it can do bright color like that, it's going to do kind of subtle pastel kind of moody shots, I call them, really well, with something with a bit more of a kind of a mid-tone palette too. And it does absolutely fantastic, does this great. It holds shadow detail, as you can see in this Taj Mahal picture here, absolutely great. And also underneath the car in here as well. Sometimes on papers, perhaps the kind of more porous cotton papers, sometimes this area here in this print can block a little bit, but actually it holds the sharpness and the detail really nicely as well. And it holds kind of the highlights and beautifully at the same time. So you're never blowing anything out here. The dynamic range of this paper is really, really nice. ICM bits does it absolutely fantastically. It might not be the paper I would particularly choose. I might want something with a little bit of texture to it, like our new platinum etching cotton paper, perhaps for an ICM. However, it's done a really, really nice job. Again, with something with a bit more shadow detail in here and things, it's held the detail lovely. I think this one perhaps has lost, and same with this one a little bit, has lost a tiny little bit of contrast. So I may, in the edit, if I went back and printed these, I might want to just pop a little bit of contrast back in. I think it's just the type of picture it is, because like on the Taj Mahal picture here and things like that, it has held the contrast really, really nicely. So I think it may be more the file than the actual paper. So, but again, it's held highlights, shadows, these more pastel kind of tones, mid-tones. The detail in here it's held as well is absolutely beautiful. So that dynamic range, again, working really, really well, I have to say. And that shadow detail, and it's just picked out all the constellation and things in here really, really nicely. Wildlife works fantastically. Again, the detail in the fur and things is beautiful. These piercing blue eyes that I've talked about in other videos when I've used these prints. Again, it just pops off the page. It does an absolutely beautiful job. And the colour again in the lighthouse here works beautiful. Now I've got a number of black and whites here sitting on the page as well, which I think we need to talk about, and I think we need to kind of look at, because matte papers are probably not something you think about with black and white necessarily, but because of this high white point in the High White Smooth, it does an absolutely beautiful job. If we take like a mid-tone type of portrait here, it works fantastically, and I really do like the sharpness of this paper as well. I haven't added any extra sharpening or anything, just printed them all straight in here, and they really have worked really, really nicely. It has held the detail like in the boat here, and this lovely gradient here looks great on this smooth, on the smoothness of the paper as well. It's just got a it's a very smooth paper, but it has got, you could argue, a very, very slight, tiny little bit of texture possibly, but it is a very smooth paper. I mean, I'm really splitting hairs here, to be honest, but with this gradient in this black and white here, it has worked perfectly as well. And it's held this nice highlight here in the background as well. It's just off grey, held it really, really nicely. This picture here of the gentleman on the steam train, again, it's held the shadow detail absolutely beautifully again. Yeah, I can't really say any more about it, to be honest. The prints, I mean, they look absolutely fantastic. The black and whites, I should say, I've just printed with the black and white mode of the printer. I haven't done anything fancy. I've used a Canon today, so the Canon 1100. And I haven't done anything fancy to them. I've just printed them by clicking the black and white button and just printing them straight as well. The color images, I did create a custom profile and printed them with that. I created a fresh custom profile for the 1100 for today's video and printed them as well. But what I'm going to do, I just want to pop these to the side for the minute, because I do have some other prints here as well, printed on the NST Bright White. And I did want to have a little look just to see, and play devil's advocate a little bit perhaps, just to see what the difference was. Now, let me just pop these out on the table. So these are NST Bright White I'm putting out now. So I've got a couple of colours and I've got a black and white here. So as we add the black and whites out, let's start with a black and white. So let me just pick this one at the top here. And I just want to have a look, and we will just have a comparison. Now, instantly, what I can see is, I have to say, the NST Bright White does have a very slightly higher white point. The High White Smooth just does look a very touch of so subtle, a little bit warmer. So that's one thing. However, I don't not like it, I think. Again, NST Bright White, it does seem just a little bit cooler in its print, probably because of that white point. The High White Smooth is very, very slightly warmer when compared to the NST Bright White. NST Bright White has a little bit more of a texture to it, where the High White Smooth is a lot smoother. Both 100% cotton, both fully archival, both everything, same weight as well. So they do give a beautiful print. And I think probably of the viewers out there, I think we could probably split us down the middle, 50-50, just which one we'd pick. I'd be happy with either, I have to say. We are really splitting hairs here. So I'm going to gracefully bow out of that argument there and pop these to the side for 2 seconds, because I do want to look at some colour images as well. And I've got my pencils here, so let's have a look at that. And again, we can see that white point there. However, I don't think there's much difference in colour. Again, High White Smooth, slightly warmer perhaps. However, they neither really jump out at me. They both look absolutely stunning, and there's no difference between them at all. Like I said, we can just sit on the NST Bright White. There's just that little texture. It could be argued that I mean, it is such a fine texture. It's crazy, but it could be. It seems crazy to say this, but it could be a little bit distracting where the High White Smooth is a little bit. It's just that little bit smoother and less distract. But I mean, it's so not an issue. I don't think it is an issue at all. And yeah, they're very, very similar papers, perhaps, but it gives a beautiful print as well. Now, I just got to find my food picture here as well, because I do want to have a very quick look at this. I think we're going to see the same results basically as the other two. Both really, really sharp. Again, I'm not seeing that warmth necessarily as much in this picture here. I mean, the reds look absolutely fantastic. The High White Smooth, I could argue a tiny little bit lighter, perhaps. I mean, I'm probably just seeing things now. My eyes staring and talking to you. Staring at prints for 10-15 minutes has probably made my eyes go a bit funny. But apart from that, I mean, they look absolutely stunning, and I'd be happy with either. So not really sure what to kind of get from that, apart from the High White Smooth is a little bit warmer. Has that slight warmth to it that the NST Bright White doesn't. So that is the High White Smooth 315 from us here at Fotospeed. It is available in the Fine Art Matte Smooth Test Pack, and is well worth trying as well. And if you just want something that tiny little bit warmer, perhaps if your image is a little bit more mid-tone or something, because the warmth of the paper, I do find, helps with those mid-tone type images. But I hope you can see with bright colour, like how we have on the table here, it really does excel and does an absolutely fantastic job and is a perfect all-rounder. So who's this paper for? Well, it's for artists, photographers, I would say landscape photographers, wildlife photographers, absolutely perfect. But hopefully you could see when I looked at the black and white pictures, it would suit portrait photography really nicely as well. I could see it working for portrait photography because it is just that slight little bit warmer than NST Bright White. So I always think if a paper's got a little bit of warmth in it, as a viewer and an audience, if it's up on the wall, it invites people in a little bit more. Sometimes it's very subtle, and sometimes like a high white paper like an NST Bright White could, very subjectively, but could, and very arty, create a bit of a barrier, perhaps it is said, but if it's slightly off-white, it feels a little bit more welcoming and a little bit more warming, perhaps. So you flow into the picture a little bit more. And that's why sometimes it works with portraits particularly well. But it all depends on how you would like your picture to look and what feeling you'd like people to get from your picture. So on that note, I will end there. High White Smooth is available for the Fotospeed website. It is also available for Midwest Photo in the US and also Colour Europe in mainland Europe. So please head over to the Fotospeed website now and order yours today. I'll put all the links and everything in the description below. Don't forget to subscribe to the Fotospeed YouTube channel. It really helps us get the word of printing out there as well. And the more people that subscribe, the more YouTube will push us out to the wider audience. So please click that subscribe button if you haven't already. Also, don't forget to sign up to the Fotospeed newsletter to get exclusive discounts on papers and keep up to date with all the news from us here at Fotospeed. Also, if you haven't already, I'm sure you already have, download The Art of Printing from Fotospeed, the free ebook we offer all about printing. So until next week, and thank you for watching, I will see you next week. Bye-bye.